What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my review of the Syma X51 Spaceship. And this is the quad here. Yes, it's a quad, not a tricopter. It's a quad in the Y4 configuration. And I must say that this thing is very unique. Although I have other Y4 configuration quads, but this one is rather unique because of the way that it looks and the way it flies. This thing flies better than the ones that I had before, but this thing flies a little wacky. I can't say that I think that this quad is for everyone. Just for those that are looking for something unique and flies wacky, I guess. This thing flies wacky. Now, I say it flies a little different because of the yaw, and also there's a different dynamic thrown in the mix because of the weight of the front of this canopy here. So this thing swings around when it does yaw. The yaw isn't perfectly centered, it doesn't seem. It seems like it spins around this thing here, the front motor pods there, forming that canopy look, is where most of the weight is, I guess. And it tends to want to yaw around this front canopy here. So really hard to do funnels. You can't do any tight funnels, especially when you kick the yaw all the way up. This thing has a pretty fast yaw. You can bank turns because it is actually proportional, but it spins so fast on full yaw that it's hard to really bank a turn, because you just have to be very light on your input on the yaw stick in order to bank a nice turn with this. But you can do it, and you can barely do funnels. They're going to be some wide funnels, but when you kick this thing up in full yaw and apply full aileron or elevator, it's just going to pitch a little bit. It doesn't pitch a lot on its full yaw. So it would have been really nice to have it do that, but I'm guessing because of its configuration that it's probably super hard to get it to stay stable and be able to do that because of the this front canopy set up there with the motors. And for the most part, though, this thing is just a collector's item, I think, or for those who want to fly something wacky. If you're really looking for something that flies really nice and precise, this is not it. This thing does not fly very precise because of that yaw. And I think it's a pretty nice flying craft, though, compared to the other Y4 configuration quads that I've been flying. And the prop guards do come off. This thing is a nice indoor flyer, a wacky indoor flyer, but it's pretty nice because with the prop guards on, it's really hard to make this thing go down because as you can see, the props on the front are fully protected, top and bottom, and the ones in the back, you really don't hit on the back. This front canopy carries the most weight, and so usually the momentum sends it bumping into things with the front. But so you can take the rear prop guards off, but the rear prop guards work pretty well too. But I like taking them off to help with weight. You guys know I don't like prop guards too much, but these prop guards don't seem to weigh very much. It don't really weigh it down or hamper its performance too much. It's only on the back, and the momentum of this front canopy here sort of cancels out anything that you might be, any weight that's caused by these little prop guards on the back. So it flies pretty much the same with the prop guards on or off. The transmitter is the basic Xbox 360 style transmitter that Syma's been doing with the X11 and all, a lot of their craft actually. And this thing does have a cruise button, auto cruise button or something like that. But well, actually it's called cruise mode, but that mode is just a demo of the yaw, it seems, and this is it here. You press this button here and it goes into a demo mode, but it just spins around in yaw and flies off somewhere. It's really not worth watching the demo actually, and you'll probably lose the aircraft if you watch it too long. It flies off somewhere. No headless mode on this. These buttons here, this button in the middle and the top and bottom button, they actually do press and click in, but they don't do anything. You just have your yaw trims here and your forward and backwards trim and your aileron trim there, and this cruise mode button. So, and this button here switches, this actually does the flips, and this button here changes the rates. You only have 2 rates. Barely any difference in the yaw on the 2 rates, high and low, but the pitch is substantially more on the highest rate. So I think it has, I'm not sure, but I think it has 7mm motors, I want to say. I don't think that these are 8mm motors. I haven't taken it apart or anything to try to measure them, but I think that they're 7mm motors in here, and these props are like JJ1000 style props, and I haven't tested it with any other props other than the stock props that are on it. I figured it wasn't worth it. This thing doesn't fly that precise. It's just a wacky flying aircraft just to have some fun with. Now, I found when you're flying this thing, it does go fast, and so when you're flying this thing fast on high, in order to turn around, it's very tricky to use the yaw to actually turn around. You just have to tap it and it'll go flying on the other direction to spin around because of the weight of this canopy here. It even turns on its own if you're flying too fast and you let off the pitch, the momentum, and I guess the wind blowing on this thing will spin it around. So very easy to get it going in the other direction when flying one direction and wanting to change directions. It does that very quick. You just have to get used to how to do it. But for the most part, this thing is a pretty unique flying aircraft. I think I like it. But that's all there really is to tell about its features. It does come with an instructions manual that's in full legible English, as Syma always do. Supply you with that. With the transmitter back there. Oh, there is a spot for you to recharge your battery on the transmitter back there. As you can see right there. It does come with an extra set of spare props. I don't know why. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. The color of the props, because you're not going to get confused with which direction is front, you're not going to lose your orientation with this very often because of this big pod thing in the front here. So the props on the black version are all white, and the props on the white version come all black. You get all one color props, and so this is the spare props from the black version, and you do get a screwdriver in there, again, a prop removal tool, and a USB charging cable. Now, this is very unique there. You have one prop upside down, blowing, and one is pushing air. So I just thought I'd show you guys that really quick. Oh, let's look at the battery bay. The battery bay is, the door comes off of the battery bay. The battery bay isn't that large. It'll fit up to 380 milliamp hour batteries. But the batteries that you put in this thing, I've been having a problem with the batteries having enough energy to supply this thing with power, it seems. It seems like even the stock batteries, when I charge them up, you only get a little bit of flipping with this thing. I guess this thing is very power hungry, probably because of all the weight. But it doesn't fly heavy though. It feels like it flies. It floats pretty nicely in the air. It doesn't require a bunch of throttle to get it to lift up or anything like that. But I guess the weight distribution of it is a little different. Most of the weight being on the front there, but you do have those two props spinning in the same spot to pretty much hold this heavy pod up in the air. But it really requires a lot of energy apparently, because the batteries, I was thinking that my batteries weren't holding a good charge, but testing it with my charge tester, my LiPo tester, it seems that the batteries are getting a normal charge. It's just that this thing is very power hungry. For some reason, it reaches a LVC warning pretty early if you do some flips and if you're flying it around fast. But if you're doing some slow casual flying, the LVC won't kick on as quick. But for the most part, you get about 5 minutes of flight time with this thing, no matter what. Even if you do a flip and it goes into LVC, the LVC warning lasts pretty long. So that's it. Let's go check this thing out in flight. Okay, so this is the indoor flight of the mini Star Trek Enterprise. Just kidding. We got the Syma X51 here. So let's check it out. I left the prop guards on it to show you guys how resilient it is in flight. As you can see, I just banged it up a little bit there. So this thing does resist crashes very well. You can see him bumping it. So it resists crash with the prop guards on. So I thought I'd show you guys that with the prop guard on this one. And the battery is low, but I just wanted to show you that the prop guards work on this one. Show you the yaw there. This is on low, so pretty decent. As you can see, it was holding its spot right there on the yaw. Let's check out the pitch. So that's the aileron. This is elevator. Pitch on low. Okay, now we're on high. There's only 2 rates on it, as with most Syma products. This is aileron's pitch on high, elevator on high. And more crash in there. And let's look at the yaw. The yaw on high. So you can see pretty much the same. And that's its flight with the prop guards on. And let me land it. See if I can get it landed on here. Whoa. Try that again. We can get better than that, can't we? This thing's drifting a lot because the battery is low. There we go. So let's check out the other one without the prop guard so we can do some flips. Okay, so we're back with the X51 here at Hangar 51. Kick off with it. So this is without the prop guards. Let's look at some flips. And here we go again with the battery. I've been having a hard time getting batteries charged to this thing's liking. It seems that the battery will be charged, but it'll flash still as if the battery is low. So I can't perform flips with it right now. Let's just get some flying around with it then. So you can't really do funnels with this thing. This is the best of a funnel you'll be able to get. It doesn't pitch hard during the funnel, but it does spin pretty nicely. I don't call that a funnel. You can get it to bank if you can get the yaw to nicely turn. The yaw is a little funny. So as you can see, this battery here isn't really dead. The battery is okay. It's just registering as a low battery for some reason. So I'll just continue to fly it though. Give you guys an idea of how it flies. Give you an idea of the yaw. The yaw is, it's not really touchy, but it's sort of the opposite of being touchy. When you apply yaw, it starts to yaw immediately, but it takes a while for the yaw to kick into full spin. So it's hard to really bank your turns efficiently. You have to have a nice feel for it. So as you can see there, it is proportional, so you can get a nice banking turn. That's the best of a funnel you'll be able to get too. Because when the yaw spins all the way up, it doesn't want to pitch anymore on the funnel. Let's go the other direction. So you can see it's a little wacky flying it, but it definitely flies better than the other Y4 configuration quads that I have flown. Aside from maybe the one from the mini one from Hobby King. That one flies pretty nicely, but you just can't fly it fast. So this one beats that one in that category. And it's trying to go down now, it seems. No, not yet. Okay, let's get this thing landed. It's getting weak. And let's try to get a battery to register for us to see the flips on it. Okay, so I got another battery and I got a voltage checker here. A LiPo voltage checker. And I just want to show you guys. This battery is charged up to 4.14 volts. 4.14 volts. It's reading 13 and 14. But let's check it and see how it acts with this battery. Okay, so I got that battery in. Well, let's check it. Okay, good. So seems to be supplying enough power for it. Now let's try some flips. So that's a side flip, backwards flip, do a forward flip, acts like it doesn't want to do the flip. Okay, side flip. Oh, I forgot, this doesn't do forward flips. It only does side and back flips. So you can see it's at LVC already. This thing is very power consuming, it seems. I guess because of how heavy the front of it is. It really kills batteries. Especially if you do flips. But if you're just flying it around, you get better flight time than that. But you're only going to get but a couple flips out of it. It's raining outside, so I don't really want to. But let's see how bad it's raining out there. Maybe I'll take it for a quick spin outside. Okay, so it's not raining hard. Let's take off from here. As you can see, it can be flown nicely. The yaw takes some getting used to. The range is nice on it. I'm not flying at full speed because of the fact that I have that low voltage warning there. Even though I know it's a false LVC. So you can see it looks pretty cool flying. And it tends, if you go really fast, it tends to yaw on its own a little when you slow down. You can see there. So really easy to fly it back and forth. It spins around really fast to get going in the other direction. Just bring it up close for you guys. Thing looks really cool. The best of a funnel you're going to get. I think that's all there is to show, really. Oh, let's look at that. Let's look at the demo mode real quick. It just starts to do weird stuff. It spins around in yaw. So bring it back in. Okay, let's bring it back in. Take it in for a landing. Whoop. Well, that's it. The Syma X51. Thanks for watching.